Greetings, fellow airsoft and entrepreneurial business nerds. I am James, your favorite full-time airsoft operations manager. I am the full-time manager of an airsoft field called True Aim, which is in the Sacramento area of California. Airsoft is my full-time thing. I don't have any other job except managing an airsoft field. If you're here because you were searching for like business-related stuff, you don't know what airsoft is, good. Your life is probably better without actually knowing what that is. What you need to understand is that I manage a very niche level business in Northern California, and I do it for a living. I do not have any other job. I don't work, I don't own any other businesses. I don't work any other jobs. I don't have like a 9 to 5, then I do this thing on the weekend where this like airsoft my side hustle. No, airsoft is my main gimmick. This video is going to be part of a 4-video series where I go over my first year of business, some of the things that I've learned. I think I wrote down like 30, 35 or 40 something things. So I decided to do just sort of 5 at a time and cut out some of the ones that were kind of redundant. But there's no real like top 3, top 5. Like, no, dude, like this is a year's worth of business information that I'm going through. So there's no like, if you only learn one thing, like not really. This is just a bunch of really sort of important tidbits, I guess you could say, on what helped me in my first year and how that has transferred over now going into my second year, and sort of how I'm using past practices and way forward and all sorts of other cool terms. Let's get into it. A lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about isn't really industry specific, or if it is kind of industry specific, I will try to break it down so that it's relatable in a general business sense. I'll kick this one off by talking about predicting your highs and lows and planning accordingly. It kind of falls into the thing I was talking about in the last video with like a survival plan. So in the last video, I was talking about how crazy our summer got and how low our numbers were. So what I was doing was I was tracking how many players I was getting and how much money I was making. And then I was tracking the highs for that day. So I was able to see like how hot it was getting versus how many players we weren't getting. And so I was able to figure out that when we were in the 90s, like mid 90s, we were doing okay. Once it started to hit triple digits, there was a significant drop in our customers. So now I can take that data and from 2021, and I'm working on my summer plan for 2022 so we don't have to suffer such great losses. That's what I'm talking about when I say like predict your highs and lows. Looking at like your great seasons and your off season, or your highs and lows, your peaks and valleys, whatever you want to call it. Figure out when you make the most money, when you make the least amount of money, and focus on when you're making the least amount of money and try and bring that up a little bit and see what you can do. You really want to have 3 social media platforms that are independent of each other. Remember, Facebook owns Instagram, so they're basically the same platform. The 3 platforms I use, Facebook, Instagram, I consider them a single platform. I use Discord. I have my own video on how to use Discord for business. You really want to jump on the Discord train. If you have sort of a younger customer base or a young demographic, you really want to look at that as a platform for your business. And then I have a YouTube channel. Facebook and Instagram have nothing to do with these other 2. None of these 3 own each other. Google is independent of Discord, and they're both independent of Facebook and Instagram. Where that really comes into play is when like those servers go down. So every once in a blue moon, Facebook and Instagram will go dead. They'll have, I don't know, hackers, who knows what it is. But basically you can't use those platforms for, the servers are backed up or whatever. Discord, maybe so today is the 7th of February, 2022. Discord maybe 2 weeks ago just crashed for I think like 3 hours, so I wasn't able to use that platform for business reasons, but my YouTube and my Facebook and Instagram were still up. So you want to have 3 platforms independent of each other. That way if one goes down, you still have 2 other platforms you can use to communicate. Don't sell yourself short, but also don't overcharge. Understanding what your value is, or what your product's value is, or what your service's value is probably one of the biggest, I guess, issues, or like one of the biggest like points of confusion that I see a lot of entrepreneurs have in my industry and in like the groups of other business people that I know that I like kind of hang out with. It's sort of widely agreed upon. Like, yeah, dude, like everyone always sort of undersells themselves when they go early in the game. When it comes to pricing, the way that we figured out our field fee was we looked at what was already pre-existing in the marketplace for our region. So what was already going on with there's a field in Galt, there's a field in Stockton, and there's some other fields throughout sort of kind of the region I'm in. So I was looking at how much they were charging, what they were, and kind of why they were charging it. So if this field does 25, why? Oh, they're open. They have this. They have this unique thing. They're open longer. They have all these other things. So as a baseline, we chose $20 for an admission because we're only open about 5 hours on a Saturday and 5 hours on a Sunday. And you look at some of the other fields, they charge $5 or $10 more, but maybe they're open a couple more hours. So a good way to look at how much you should charge, a good way to start is look at what everyone else is doing. Ta-da! Unless you're creating an industry, good luck. Understand how to manage what I'm just going to call a convenience fee. So you go to a sports game. Say you go to a football game. You want a beer. You're not going to pay, $2 for a beer or $3 for a beer like you might pay like a local dive bar somewhere or like a VFW hall if you're familiar, like dollar beers. You're probably going to pay $8 or so for that, maybe more. You're paying for convenience. They're jacking the price up because where else you going to get this beer? Understanding how to manage your convenience fees is kind of the same thing about not selling yourself short. Where I use this the most is my fields. I call it the snack bar. So you can get this drink for, $2 or $2.50 at the gas station, or you can get it for $3 now. I know you're not going to want to get in your car and drive up the road just to save 50 cents. So that's kind of where I use convenience fees in my specific industry. But let's say I have an energy drink. You could get it at a gas station for $2. If I were to charge $5 for that same product, it's kind of a jerk move on my part. That's where we start looking at like kind of price gouging to an extent. An extra dollar for convenience because it's here and you can get it now. This generation, the younger generation, is sort of okay with paying for convenience fees because you look at rideshare apps, you look at food delivery apps. People will pay for convenience so they don't have to go anywhere. It's okay now. It's a thing that's in the marketplace in other industries. So if you can get an energy drink for $2 at a gas station, you want to charge $3 so you can have it. That customer can have it right there. That's not unreasonable. Going into that same selling yourself short and sort of convenient fees, $5 can either be everything or it can be nothing. If you look at the price of a car, and let's say it's $25,000, if someone says, hey, you have to pay an additional $5 for this reason, $5, like, I've already paid $25, I don't care, it's $5, what do I care? But if you look at, say, a fast food value meal, and they increase the price of it by an additional $5, where it used to be $5, now it's $10, you're going to go, whoa, stop the presses. I no longer desire this product because of a $5 difference. So understanding sort of the spending habits of your customers and how they expect to spend money around that product can be a lot. Right now, my field fee is $20. And you get to play from start to finish. I think we're open like 5 hours. Yeah, for right now we're open 5 hours, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. If I were to raise my field fee by $5, they would probably riot in the streets just because for that demographic of teenagers. So I mostly cater to teenagers and got folks in their early 20s. If I were to raise prices by $5 for an admission, they would riot in the streets with pitchforks. But if you look at the price of airsoft guns and how those prices have sort of skyrocketed in the last year, no one cares. I still sell a product. When it debuted, it was $220. Now it's $270, and that's in the last 12 months. Really, those prices went up in about a 6 to 8 month time frame. No one batted an eye. No one cared. But again, if I were to raise my field fee by $5, kids are going to go crazy. That's just how that goes. So you have to understand those spending habits and kind of where that customer is at, and sort of weigh the value of raising your prices versus sort of how much you're going to piss your customers off.
Caber, who the f*** are you, nerd?